Golfers Dean with golfallyear.com, and I'm excited about today's video because it's a comparison video of two golf simulators that are very similar. Similar in price and similar in the way that they use. Just use different software, so that's going to be one of the main keys whether you decide which one to go with. And so hopefully I can give you some helpful ideas on which one you might want to go with. I'm going to talk about some of the features, the hardware, and the software, so you'll get an idea of which one might be the best simulator for you. All right, hope you enjoy it. One of the first things that you'll want to look at is the features of these two simulators. They're very similar in price, but they do have some different features. One, the feature that you can use the Tittle X with both Windows and Mac. The R-Motion you can only use with with Windows. You can't use it with the Mac. And so unless you do some other things. So that's a big feature that is I like about Tittle X. Also, the Tittle X gives you that swing stick, so you can hit it in limited spaces, in close spaces. I even went outside and hit wiffle balls with it. You can't hit real balls with it. That is a disadvantage that I think R-Motion has over the Tittle X, is being able to hit real balls. But you can use your real clubs with both. The online features, the thing about the E6 is that for $300 you can get some mini games, you can get some challenges, you can get some more courses, etc. with the E6. The R-Motion, the problem with the software is it's not updated to 2019, the golf club with 2019. And so you're always going to be stuck with an outdated piece of software. You can buy for $500, so more a year, you can get the extra courses and some things like that, the online play. But I think that the E6 just provides more features within what you get in terms of the practice area, being able to pick your spot on the practice area, the landing spot targets, some things like that. I just think the E6 does a better job, and so the Tittle X has some more features that the R-Motion doesn't. Being able to change, for example, being just able to change your clubs on the sensors. That's a big plus for me, not having to go all the way back to the computer and do those things. So I feel that the features lean towards the Tittle X. All right, golfers, let's take a look at the hardware for the two golf simulators. Okay, so on the left, you have the R-Motion golf simulator. It comes in a very small box. On the right, you have the Tittle X golf simulator. Comes in obviously a much larger box. And so let's take a look at the hardware that comes inside the box and how easy or difficult they are to set up. Okay, the two charging cords are very similar. They both connect into your computer. This is the R-Motion here on the left, and on the right is the Tittle X. This just flips right into the end of the sensor. For the R-Motion, the sensor slides right into this charging cord. So not much difference. Pretty easy to use both of them. All right, you guys, let's start with the sensors, okay? You can see on the left there is the R-Motion sensor, and on the right is the Tittle X sensor. The R-Motion will have a red dot, red light that lights up in the middle there, and you just tap that to get it going. On the Tittle X, you will see that it will have a white light when it's ready to go, and then when you are ready to swing, you will actually see 3 lights blinking down the sensor, and that tells you that you're ready to go. It will also talk to you and let you know that you are ready to hit a shot, which is pretty cool. And so you just wait till you hear it say ready, and then you swing. Also, you can see that you have arrows up and down. Those will, if you tap those on the Tittle X, they will actually uh, change your club. And so you can change your club and by simply tapping on those. So you don't even have to go to the computer. One issue I did see with that is sometimes when I was changing the sensor to a different club, it would hit it by accident, and what would happen is it would change my club, and so I'd have to go back and look and make sure. So you just got to be careful that you don't hit those arrows on the transition from one club to the next. So those are the two sensors that you get. Now let's take a look at the clips. Okay, let's take a look at the two clips. On the left, you will see the R-Motion clip, and on the right, you will see the Tittle X clip. You can see that the sensor fits on top of the R-Motion clip and slides right in. I'll show you how that works in a minute. You will also see that it kind of attaches and you screw the bottom here. The bottom screws right in there around your club. I found it very difficult sometimes to get that around the club just right. It comes out and it takes a few times to tighten it down and make sure it's tight. I've also broken a few of these clips, tightening up and doing those things. So these clips are one of the main problems with the R-Motion, I think. On the Tittle X side, really easy to get these onto your clubs. You just snap them on. I did have some difficult time getting them off the club. That took some time, but the sensor just clips right on. You just press it down right on top of the clip, and it goes on pretty easy. So much easier to get the Tittle X clip onto the club and the sensor onto the clip than the R-Motion. In fact, if you don't get the uh, R-Motion sensor uh, in the clip right, you don't slide it in correctly, it should be super tight. If it's not super tight, I've had them fly off, the sensor fly off out of the clip, and it took me quite a while to find it. I know on some of the golf similar forums, I've had people that have lost their clips this way, or their sensors this way. So you really got to be careful when you're using the R-Motion clips. So that's the difference in the two clips. Now let's take a look at how the sensors clip on to the clips. All right, so let's start with the R-Motion and how the sensor slides in. You just take and make sure that these two dots are facing the back of the clip. You take and slide it in. It should be difficult. See how that was too easy to slide in? That will fly off. Okay, so you really got to make sure that it gets into the clip. There it is. Now it becomes a little more difficult to push in. You see the difference? Hopefully you do, because you don't want to lose that sensor. So that's how that slides in. This should be clipped onto your clubs, and then you'll just take the sensor out. It becomes kind of difficult to get out sometimes, and it should be difficult to get out. And then you just switch the sensor from clip to clip. So that's the R-Motion sensor and clip. All right, so now let's take a look at the sensor here for the Tittle X and how it attaches to the clip. All you do is take it and put it on top and press down and slide it kind of down a little bit, and it clips right on there. And then you have your clip and you're ready to go hitting. You will see the light is blinking right now. It should be white. If it's not, then you just attach it to your charging cord and put it into the computer, and it'll wake it up and you're ready to go. It doesn't take but a second. It's not like it's charging it. It just wakes it up. So you can see here that the sensor is ready to go and it's on the clip. Now, taking it off, all you do, pull it right off and you're ready to go. So here's what they look like on your clubs. You'll notice that the R-Motion is clipped right on there, screwed right on there, and the open end is facing up. The Tittle X, you have the X down below, and it kind of slides under your grip, okay? And so what I found is that it's much easier to get the clip of the Tittle X onto the club and in the right spot than it is with the R-Motion, okay? Another cool thing that you get with the Tittle X is you get this swing stick, which is used for inside the house. It has a nice handle so you don't lose control and have it fly through your window or TV or whatever you're using, your computer screen. So that's kind of nice. It also, you can see that the clip and the sensor clips right on right there. And then if you look right here, I don't know if you can see, but it says low. This is for your swing speed. So you can switch your swing speed to low or high, depending on how it's going in the actual shots, for your actual shots. So you can actually adjust that so you can kind of fine tune it to your swing speed. And so this is kind of a neat little feature that you can use if you're inside the house and you just want to practice and get out there and hit some balls or play around. I have actually taken and I'm projecting it on a wall in my living room, and I'm going to be swinging in there. I might even be able to use the real clubs to do it. So that's kind of a cool feature with the Tittle X. The one thing about the Tittle X that you don't get is you can't hit. They say not to hit with real balls. They think that it will hurt the sensor. I may do a test on it just to see. But that's one of the disadvantages. You can't hit real balls. I believe you can hit foam balls, or if you're using plastic balls, I believe you could do that with it. So that's an advantage to the R-Motion, is you can actually hit real balls with it. Okay, so neat little feature of the Tittle X that you don't get with the R-Motion. Let's take a look at the E6 software. This is the software that goes with the Tittle X. You'll get to this screen, and then you have actually two basic options, either to play or to practice. Events you can't use unless you get the upgrade online version, which I believe is like $300 a year. So you can do a lot more things. They have some mini games and some challenges and some other things you can do if you upgrade. You also get more courses with that. So with this, though, you will get a practice or play. Let's check it out. Just kind of do a quick little scan of what you get here. It does talk to you a little bit. So you get driving range. You will also have, this is a neat one. You can do a scoring zone where you're trying to hit inside this target. And then you have your chip and putt, where you can pick the spot to chip or putt and practice your chipping and putting. So let's click on the driving range. I want to just show you a few things you can do with this. Okay, so here's the driving range. You can see over here you have your statistics. They also can give you some advanced statistics, which are really cool, which you might be able to get after you hit a bunch of balls. You then have your choice of what clubs you want to use. Okay, and so you just click on it and it goes to it. And so over here is your aim. Okay, your target line is right there. Down here you can change the color of tracer that you want to use for the ball. Okay, and so you can hit 5 balls and then change the tracer and hit 5 more or whatever. So you can see the different spots and the distribution of your shots. Okay, so that's kind of the driving range there that you can do. Okay, let's click on, oh, one other thing is this boost. This is a nice little deal. This is where you can increase or decrease your distance. Like I do on the OptiShot, I like to use and found that 10% boost works best when I hit my shots. Okay, and so you can actually boost up your shots. Over here, you can also left-handed. You can change it to left hand. You can change the conditions that you want to hit in. So you can practice with different times of day, different winds, all that good stuff with the conditions. You can also choose a practice area to go to. Okay, you can see, look, you can click on any of these and go to a spot. You can go chip and putt and then pick your spot of where you want to practice from, and it'll take you to that spot. Let's say I wanted to practice my putting. I click on that, going to go over here, and it'll take me to that spot. Okay, and it'll take me right to that spot. Okay, I can get back out of that. Okay, and exit out of that. Okay, if I go back in, I wanted to show you one more thing. Is the scoring zone. I forgot to show you. This is where you can put a target. You can increase that target, okay, to however large you want, or decrease it. And then you try to hit inside those areas. Okay, and so now you can see over here, here's your target. And so when you hit, you can try, and I like to do it mostly with irons. So you put an iron, maybe put the distance at 150 yards, okay, and the width of that is 35 feet. So you can really practice and dial in your irons, and so forth. So that's kind of the practice stuff you can do. So let's go to play. You can play a new round. This login is for, again, for if you have the upgraded version. I think they call it the E6 Connect, $300 a year, which isn't awful, but you know, it is an extra cost. This is where you put your player in. You can change the tees, which are nice, the different tees. Put it to the amateur, change the hands. If you're using the Connect, you can put in your handicap. Again, you can do the boost if you want. Okay. And then once you have that, you only get one horse with the Tittle X, unless you upgrade. But here is the settings. And if you just look at this, it's amazing some of the settings that you can do. You know, from mulligans to gimmies, you can have the player decide. So you get to decide when it's a gimme and what's a gimme. You can have the computer decide. You can have the computer auto score it. You can put it out. Okay, you can do all kinds of different things, different distances for the gimmies. You can change the ball size, the pins, time of day, wind, all that good stuff. A couple of cool things you can do here is you can change the mode. This is where it'll, the TV mode is where it will show the tracer off the tee, and then it'll go to kind of following the ball and show it where it lands. Or you can go to the classic mode where you're actually like playing around a golf. So that's kind of, so you see the ball flight, only the ball flight. The flybys, etc. You can change the elevation. So a lot of great features with the E6 in terms of the settings. A lot of great setting features. Then you can actually pick the holes that you want to play. You can remove holes. Okay, for example, I can remove different holes here. Boom, I'm taking all the holes out. Okay, I can play 5 holes. I can play just the front 9, just the back 9, all 18, etc. Pick the holes that you want to play. So another cool feature. And then you will have some different modes of play. Okay, once you start, whoops, I need to go back and, and set that up again. Okay, okay, so I get my players. Okay, ready to go, holes to play, and then we'll click start. And it'll take you to the course, and then it'll do a little flyby. Tells you how far it is. Okay, you like the voice. It'll also tell you when you're ready to hit, when the sensor is set and you're ready to hit. It's kind of nice. So here's some of the graphics. You can see some of the holes. This is the course that comes with the Tittle X. Okay, then it puts you back on the tee. Your scorecard is up here. You can see your even par, shot number 1. Click on that. It shows you your scorecard. At the end of the round, as I'll show you a little bit later, is a breakdown of all your statistics for the round. I mean, advanced statistics and tons of different statistics that you will be able to use to try to get better. So that's kind of the E6 software portion. I'm going to test it out in terms of some accuracy stuff, and we'll compare it to this software to the golf club that the R-Motion uses.
Ready. The distance to the pin is 251 yards. Ready. The distance to the pin is 61 yards. Ready. Ready.
All right, so let's take a look now at the golf club for R-Motion. A couple things you need to know about this. One is you need to make sure you have the dongle that goes into the computer because that's how it connects. The R-Motion connects. I couldn't find the dongle. It's really small, and so I had a very difficult time getting connected here. But once I did, into the golf club, and you will see that you can do a variety of things with this. Now, this is the golf club, the regular golf club. It's not the golf club 2019. That is the updated version. Now, one of the things you need to be aware of is that R-Motion does not work with the golf club 2019. So if you choose the R-Motion, you're not getting any updated courses or anything like that because you're not getting the newest version of the golf club. I don't know why they've stopped updating that for the R-Motion. But if you wanted to get more courses, it does come with 15 courses. If you wanted more courses, you can pay, I believe it's $500 a year. So it's more than the E6 software. I'm just not sure that it's worth it to get the extra courses. It does give you 15, but some people like to have a lot of courses with it and some of the online community play. So let's take a look at what you can do. Let's go into the settings first. You have a variety of things you can do with your settings. You got display, audio, controls, and then gameplay. Let's take a look at that. You can change a lot of this stuff, the wind and things like that, just like you can with the E6. I like the E6 a little better in terms of um, how you can find stuff. Just a little more difficult to find the different things here. The layout is better in the E6, I think. But you do have the gimme rules and things like that. Not quite as sophisticated as the E6 software, though. So once you have the settings, you can go back and then what you'll want to do is click play here to tee off. That would be to play around. Play is just to go to the different courses and play them. Now, this is where you will go to the driving range. They do not have a separate driving range. It's one of the courses, and then it allows you to just hit balls on the actual first hole of the course. So it's not a real driving range, and so that's kind of a downer for me. But it does give you, as I go in here, okay, let's go in. You have to click play around, stroke play. There's your character. You can actually build your character if you'd like. Okay, you can then go to the courses. They do have a par 3 course, which is kind of cool, but they do have 15 different courses. Here's all the courses you can take a look at. Okay, it shows you the pars, the difficulty level, those type of things, and people do. I think they do have a create your own course with the 2019. And so people create their own course and add them to these things. But for the most part, you get 15 courses here. You can go down here and you will see here's the driving range down here. And so I'll click on it and you'll see that it's just kind of a regular course, but you'll go to the first hole and tee off on the first hole. Okay. And this is basically just the driving range. Okay. And so it's not separate. It's just one of the holes here. This is hole 1. See how it has hole 1, R7. I'm not sure why they do that, but this is the driving range that you can use with the golf club. Now you have this exit. Okay, you can go and see. You can restart the game. So it's actually a course. So let's exit that. Okay, that's the driving range. Not too many options on the driving range, to be honest. Where you get the best payoff is where you play around. Here we'll go and advance. Okay, and you can go to this is the main one, Little Brook Manor. Okay, and you can actually hear the announcer talk. It can get kind of annoying at times, so I kind of turned him off here. So that it doesn't get too annoying. But here's the main course, or one of the main courses of the 15 that you get. You can see the graphics here as you go. You can adjust your aim. Okay, you can use the scout camera. I'm going to show you. I'm going to push the. You got to use it through the keyboard. Okay, you can see. You can scout everything. Okay, you can also do a little hole overview by pressing E. That gives you some points. Okay, and then you hit exit. Okay, and then you can take a look at the T. Okay, back to restart game, resume game. Okay, and then we should be able to. I hit E again, back to the first tee. And so you can see the graphics are pretty good. This is, I'll show you some shots using the golf club, but I just wanted to give you a quick overview of what you get when you do this. You can concede a hole, you can rewind the shot. You have your scorecard. Here's your scorecard. You can see that it'll give you your scorecard and things like that. So that's kind of the software. That's basically what you do with the software. It's pretty easy to navigate at times if you're using your keyboard. Okay, it's not as good with the mouse, and so it does keep a lot of the same stats. And you'll see the one thing that I'll talk about later with the software and the stat. I really like the E6 stats that come up. They're bigger, they're color coded, and the golf club just is a much smaller in terms of their stat sheet that they show you after each shot, and it's harder to see, and so I had difficulty with that. But that's kind of the software. So let you decide in terms of the graphics and things like that. But let's take a look at the other stuff and compare the Tittle X with the E6 and the R-Motion with the golf club. Right, another big thing is the graphics. You're talking the E6 versus the golf club. I'm going to let you decide on the graphics, which ones you like better. I think it's kind of a preference and kind of a feeling, unless it's really obvious. I think these are two great pieces of software. So I'll let you decide on which graphic is better between the Tittle X and the R-Motion, the E6 and the golf club. All right, golfers. One of the big questions that I know everybody asks about the golf simulators is, are they accurate? And these simulators, the Tittle X and the R-Motion, are very similar. I just don't believe they're very accurate. They are a club tracking device that, because it just tracks the club, it doesn't track the balls. You're going to miss on top shots. You're going to miss on some of the shots that you hit that are not in the center, exact center of the club. It's just not going to be very accurate. Also, making sure that device is pointing in the right direction and that it doesn't move. All those things go into just making it not as accurate as some other golf simulators. And so, but for the price, that's kind of what you're getting. And are they fun to play with? Yes. They're great to play rounds and to hit balls and get you out there hitting because it is fun to do that. I was out in the yard today using the Tittle X, hitting uh, wiffle balls with it, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. The problem is I just don't think it's accurate. I don't know how much it's going to help me besides just hitting golf balls and kind of looking and getting a general idea how much it's going to help me become better. So in terms of accuracy, I'm not so sold on the accuracy of these two devices. All right, golfers, let's sum it up. Which one do I like better? Well, after looking at the pros and cons, you can see that I really like the idea of being able to play anywhere, like being able to play in my house. I like being able to go out in my yard. My OptiShot is out in my garage. So this kind of gives me some flexibility. So the Tittle X kind of gives me that flexibility to be able to play anywhere with the swing stick or with my clubs. Those type of things. If I want to hit real golf balls, I'll go out and hit on the OptiShot and do it that way. So I do like those things. I like that you can use it on Windows or the Mac. I also really like and have thought about maybe the eConnect. I know it's $300 a year, so it's kind of a steep price considering that the Tittle X isn't very expensive. The R-Motion, one of the down grades with the R-Motion is that you can't get the 2019 golf club. They are not syncing them together. So they've it's almost like they've given up on the R-Motion a little bit. So I like the idea of if I'm going to use it, and I know that it's not super accurate because neither one of these is the most accurate golf simulators out there. If I keep that in mind and I just use it to hit balls and to have some fun, maybe even play with my kids on it and things like that, I think the Tittle X is a better buy and a better simulator for what I would use it for. Other people might disagree with that, but that's just kind of my feeling on it. I really don't like the clip system that the R-Motion uses. Chipping on both of them is difficult, but I just think being able to play it anywhere and use it anywhere kind of gives the Tittle X the advantage. So I would go with Tittle X. Um, but let me know what you think. Please comment down below. Subscribe to my channel. I'm always doing reviews, always doing some things on the OptiShot or golf simulators or training aids to try to help us break 80. I get to play my first round of golf here this week, and so I'm really excited to get back out on the course and see how I do. Please follow me. I'm really trying to reach 500 subscribers. So subscribe, comment, and let's get out on the golf course and have a lot of fun.